Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking. I'm here to do another video review for you. The game that I'm going to review for you today is called Outlaws, and as you can probably guess, this is a Wild West themed card game. We need more Wild West themed games. There's not enough of them out there. There's hardly any out there. You know, I was just complaining a little bit ago, like about a year ago, I was complaining that there weren't any really good comic book board games, and now there's a bunch of cool ones that are coming out. And maybe if I complain loud enough about the fact there aren't any good Wild West board games, eventually there'll be a bunch of cool Wild West board games to come out. But anyway, regardless, what this game is, it's like I said, it's a card game where each person will be controlling a posse of criminals, ne'er-do-wells in a rough and tumble town in the Old West. You will be hiring people to be in your posse, and then you'll be sending them out to do jobs for you. And then hopefully when they go on those jobs, they won't get shot up too bad, and they will earn you some money and some reputation. And you'll continue on until the end of the game, and whoever of everyone has the most reputation will win the game. Money isn't a factor as far as to win, but it is a factor to basically, it allows you to hire outlaws. So you need both of those resources. One of them to win, and one of them just so you can actually, it's a means to an end to win. So the game is really straightforward. I like the fact that it says expandable card game on top, because I think that means there's going to be more and cooler cards that'll come out in the future. But not that the game isn't cool already, but I'll touch on that more when I get to my conclusion. Regardless, this is one of the nicest prototypes I've ever been sent. I'll fully admit that. And I dig the little carrying case that they sent it in, which is neither here nor there for you, other than the fact that it is cool that I know that the creators of the game really care about the quality, and so that kind of speaks to what the end result of the game will be as well. But regardless, let me show you how to play Outlaws, and then we'll come back here and I'll tell you what I think, and then, as always, somewhere along the way, maybe you'll figure out if this is a game that you want to back on Kickstarter and then get a copy of it for yourself. Alright, cool. Outlaws. This is the game of Outlaws, and I've already kind of set up the game. It plays 1 to 4 people. Yes, there is a solo variant, which is very fun, but I'm not going to go into that. You can definitely check out the rules online. You can see that. But basically, you're playing against a non-player character of the sheriff, and you're just trying to beat them. But in a game of 2 to 4 people, and I have played it with 2, 3, and 4, and it's fun with all of those. You have this deck of cards, and you deal out the entire deck of cards in 6 stacks, and the cards on top are flipped over, and those are the ones that you can interact with on your turn. On your turn, you can either hire an outlaw to add them to your posse, you can do a job as long as your posse can do the job, or you can just what's called get a tip, which basically means you either rat out a person that is a bad guy, or you rat out a job that is going to be done, and basically you discard one of the cards and you get 1 money for doing it. And let me just show you these tokens, because these are really cool. They're rep, the blue ones are rep tokens, the green ones are money, obviously, you can see the money bags. And these are the hit tokens, so when your guys take damage, you place those on the spots where they take damage. And then eventually they die, of course. You can't really heal them in any way, so it's kind of a very a deadly Wild West, if you will. So on your turn, where you figure out whoever the turn is, I think the rules say the youngest person goes first. My daughter usually then goes first, and she really enjoys this game a lot. What you do is that you have to decide what you want to do. You start with 12 money to begin the game, and so nobody has anybody in their posse, so the first turn, undoubtedly you're going to hire somebody. So you just say, okay, I want to hire Ida Younger, Dynamite. And so you have a little, blew up her own house just to get out of paying the taxes. And so you can see it costs $3 to hire her. And then it's like smarts, power, and will is what these 3 stats are. But it doesn't really matter. As far as the stats go, the stats matter because they tell you whether or not you can do certain jobs, and I'll explain that in a second. So if you wanted to hire Ida, you'd pay $3, and so if you had, $3 that you start with, you pay that to the bank, and then you put that in front of you because that's part of your posse now, and you'll keep that in front of you. And then you flip this one over, and then the next person goes. That's a job. And so the next person would go, and so forth. Now, to do a job, you have to be able to have people in your posse that match up to the stats that are over here. So like the ammo wagon, just don't go in shooting, and we'll come away with so much black powder powder, it'll make a coal miner jealous. And so this is the number of dice you have to roll, and you can see the dice over there. And when you do the job, and this is the stats. You need smarts, power, will. You need 2 total smarts and 2 total will. And then you can send. Like when you send, you can send as many people as you want, but you have to send enough people to satisfy the requirements for the job. So in this situation, like here, you have, like, here we have Tommy Horner, the wild man. He'll take down anything, just wind him up like a top and stand back. So you can see he has one power and 1 will. And so if you bought him for $2, let's say you had both Ida Younger and the wild man down there. And let's just turn this one over, like so. And then, so you have a situation then where, here's a really easy job. The bicycle job. And who cares what we'll do with them? They've got to be the easiest thing in town to steal. So you only get to roll 1 die, but 1-1. So you can send Tommy Horner, the wild man, because, like, you know, this 1-1, he satisfies the requirement. And so what you do when you do a job is you will just take these dice, and you can see these aren't like normal dice with pips on them. They have rep tokens, that's how much rep you'll get for the job. They have money tokens, that's how much money you'll get for the job. And they have gunshot tokens, that's how many gunshot wounds you will take when doing the job. So in this case, we roll 1, and so, like, if we sent Tommy on the job, we roll a die, and in this case, I rolled 1 money for doing it. And so I would take a loot from the bank, I would discard the job, and I would turn the card over, like so. Now, if I had, let's just, for the sake of just showing you how it works, let's say I had all 4 of these outlaws, and they were in my posse. And it came time I was gonna do a big job. You know, I wanted to do something and I want to earn lots of money. So I could, like I'm looking at the stats, you know, I need 3, so I would need to get that, and so I do it. I could do this one. I could, the courtroom calamity. The judge called me a lost cause. Last time I was in there, time to turn the tables. So I would need smarts, power, will. I need 3 power, 3 will. So what I could do is I could send pretty much everybody. Let's just send everybody. So we send everybody on the job, like so. And you can see, like, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making 3, and then 1, 2, 3, making the 3. Obviously the smarts doesn't matter, so whatever. So you send all 4 of these, and in this case, it says I roll 3 dice for what happens. So I roll 3 dice, and I got 1 gunshot wound, but I got 4 reputation, which is great, because reputation is basically the victory points, so that's awesome. But I did take 1 gunshot wound. So I have a situation now where I have to, since all my people have 1 hit point, I have to pick one of them to basically die, which kind of stinks. But you know, them's the breaks in the Wild West. So let's go ahead and take out the wild man. Never liked you anyway. So you knock that down, you put it on there, and you go over there. You can see, like, some people don't just take 1 shot, obviously. Like you can see Ella Courtright, the sassy, once she starts ranting, it's best not to just ask her late husband. But she can see she could take 3 hits before she'd be dead. And so that's how that works. And then so you go about. The only other thing you can do is that on your turn, if, like, all the cards, like, none of them really work for you, and you don't want any of them, maybe you don't have enough money to hire any of the outlaws, and the jobs, either you don't have the right stats, or they just, for whatever reason, don't seem like they'd be a good fit for you because maybe your people are hurt and you don't want to roll a bunch of dice or something like that, you can then just take one and you can discard it and get rid of it. You get, it's called, like, giving a tip. Basically, you're ratting out that person or ratting out the job, and then you get 1 coin for doing that, and then you just flip the next one over. So the game continues until all the cards in the middle are gone. Once all the cards in the middle are gone, the person that has the most reputation wins the game. And if there's a tie in reputation, then it goes to a tiebreaker of money. If you're tied after money, then it's just a tied game. And there you go. So that is the entirety of how to play Outlaws. It's very simple, very straightforward. But it's one of those things, it's a game that I really, really enjoy. Both for the simplicity of it and for the fact that, well, the theme and the interaction, well, I'll tell more about that in my conclusion, which I will do right now. these resource tokens are like the coolest thing in the world. I sincerely hope they keep these metal resource tokens in the final version of the game. You know, I mean, basically the entire game I have here looks like a game, like components that I would normally get in a game that I buy. So, I mean, maybe the card quality is a little less. It's kind of like standard card quality. So I could see the cards being a little better quality. But other than that, I mean, the game looks amazing. Everybody that I played it with has kind of said the same thing. Especially these tokens. They said, "Wow, they're shiny and they just pop." So I don't know. Those are really cool. But anyway, regardless, that's whatever. Components are awesome, and I love components that are really cool looking, and I mean, I'm never going to say no to really awesome looking games, but the gameplay is what matters. You could have the coolest looking game in the world, but if the rules and the gameplay sucks, then you don't want to play it, right? So, alright, so Outlaws. If you watched the how to play the game, you saw it was pretty easy. I mean, it was, you know, you have three options of what you can do. And usually your decision is pretty straightforward. However, there are some wrinkles that are going on. I mean, obviously, if you don't have the right outlaws to be able to do what you want, you know, to do a job, to like certain jobs or whatever, you know, you have to you know, hire somebody. But you run into a situation a lot, I found, when you're playing the game, is that your guys get shot up pretty well, and there really isn't any way to heal them. And so there's a lot of situations where you'll get a job, like say, like here, like take your best shot, like this one. And, you know, the requirements are a lot or whatever, and maybe you have a bunch of outlaws and you can actually pull off the requirements, but you have to roll 4 dice, and so you have that situation where if like you have 4 outlaws and they're all shot to hell already, you're worried about rolling these dice and coming up with, like there, I just rolled 2 gunshot wounds, and so I'm probably like killing off a couple members of my posse by doing it. And there's some like weird risk reward stuff going on that I really enjoyed. I loved like the contemplation aspect of it, and don't mistake the fact that like there's certain jobs that like you just can't do, and you know that the person next to you is going to be able to do them and like get lots of rep theoretically for doing it. There's a lot of really good idea of just discarding that card, that like, you know, doing the tip, just to get rid of it so they can't do it, and getting some money for doing it as well. I've done that in many games, and it first of all frustrates the people that want to be able to do it, but also, I mean, it's one of those things where my buddy Craig likes to say it, I'm doing a suboptimal move, but it actually is the best move possible because it hurts you more than it hurts me. And so there's those cool decisions that you make as you play the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's probably not the most complex game that I've ever played, but it is flat out fun. I love the theme. I love the quick aspect of it. I love the fact that I've taught this game in less than 5 minutes, and pretty much everybody I've introduced it to, as far as family members, my gaming group, and also at my game store, just showing it off to people. Like I said, the components pop. People sit down and they have a blast playing it. And so if you're looking for a lighter, very theme-driven game, I mean, because each one of these cards, you know, it has a person, it has some funny little references of the people, you know, and it isn't, it's not really, like, dirty by any means or something like that, but, I mean, there's a couple of cards that are questionable. I know there's one girl in there that talks about having her skirt up over her head or something like that, so, I mean, but that's about as racy as it gets, if you will. I mean, it's for 10 or over, so I don't think anybody's going to have any problems as far as that concerns, that is concerned. But I definitely, it's steeped in theme. It's quick to teach. Oh, here you go. Christy Ulis bottoms up. We don't know if it's about her drinking or if it's her skirt, you know. So, you know. So, so there's like lots of cool little things about the game, and it's just kind of like one of those things where I can turn my mind off but still enjoy myself as I play. So I can't recommend it enough. If you're looking for a Western themed game and like a quicker card based game, I really think this is something you want to take a look at, and maybe you want to back on Kickstarter. I know they've funded or very close to funding right now. So I mean, it's going to get published, and I, for one, am excited to get my published copy of the game once it comes out. So, there you go. That was Outlaws. If you have any questions about it, go ahead and post those. I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability. And I'm sure the designers will be more than happy to pipe in as well. And if you have any questions, I bet you they can answer them if you just go to the Kickstarter page and take a look over there. So, as always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, you have yourself one heck of an awesome day. All right, bye-bye now.